So, good morning everyone. In today's class, we are going to learn about advantages and disadvantages of this DSDV. So, you people know what is meant by DSDV. What is the full form of DSDV? Destination Sequenced Distance Vector Routing Protocol. Destination Sequenced Distance Vector. So, in the previous class, we have learned how to at each and every node we are maintaining a table regarding that information, what is the next node and what is the shortest distance from that particular node. If at all the node movement is going to be changed, then it is going to be indicated as infinity, and that information is going to be conveyed to all other nodes in the network. So this is about the last class we have learned up to this. Next, in today's class, we are going to learn about the advantages and disadvantages. So, by this, less delay is involved in the route setup process. So, delay, what is meant by delay? Time taking process. So, it will, by maintaining this information at each and every node, the delay is going to be less at the route, at the router process, setup process. The mechanism of incremental updates makes the existing wired network protocols adaptable to ad hoc wireless networks. So this mechanism, the incremental updates, what is the meaning of incremental updates? Incremental updates means the updates are going to be enhanced or developed step by step. That is called as incremental update. Makes the existing wired network protocol adaptable to the ad hoc wireless network. So we can use this wired network protocols also adaptable to, adaptable means can be used in ad hoc wireless network also. So these are the few some of the advantages what we are having: limited bandwidth and whose topologies are highly dynamic. So limited bandwidth, why we are considering CAD as a limited bandwidth? What is the meaning of limited bandwidth? We are giving only limited range to transmit the packets where in wireless network. So that is the point what we have learned in the previous classes. The bandwidth is going to be limited, and whose topology are dynamically changed. The topology, the structure of the network is going to be dynamically changed. So these are some of the problems what we are going to solve. These protocol suffers from excessive control overhead. Therefore, it is not scalable in an ad hoc wireless network. So it is having excessive control overhead. Overhead. What is the meaning of overhead? Heavy burden is there in the controlling of network, and the measuring of scalable network, wireless network is which is limited bandwidth and whose topology is going to be changed dynamically. Next, another disadvantage of DSDV is that in order to obtain information about a particular destination node, a node has to wait for a table update message initiated by the same destination node. So this is one of the drawback. So if at all a node wants to get an information about a destination node or the node that it wants to move, any node that it wants to move, that is called as destination node. Now, so until and unless the table is going to be updated, it cannot get any information. A node has to wait for a table update message initiated by the same destination node. So the same destination node or the node that he wants to move, that node is called as destination node. That destination node is going to give a message that wait for until the table is going to be updated. This delay could result in a stall routing information at node. So stall routing means we are waiting for the update. So due to this waiting, this nature of waiting is called as a delay. Next, wireless routing protocols. So WRP, wireless routing protocol, similar to DSDV. It maintains information regarding the shortest distance to every destination node in the network. So whatever we have learned in the DSDV, same point here also. WRP uses set of tables maintain more accurate information. So here the table contains more accurate information in WRP, wireless routing protocol. The tables that are maintained by a node are the following. So whatever the table that is going to be maintained by the node, they contains distance table dt, routing table rt, link cost table lct, and the message retransmission list mrl. So these are the column headings or the attributes what we are going to have for the table. The dt, distance table, contains the network view of the neighbors of a node. So it will explains about the network view of the neighbors of a node. So whoever are the neighbors that particular node is having, so those neighbors view is going to be explained in that distance table dt. Next, rt contains the up to date view of network for all known destinations. Up to date, up to date means if at all there are any changes in the network, so every change is going to be updated. So that is called as routing table. It keeps shortest distance the predecessor node. Predecessors mean the node which is before us. Predecessor. Successor means which is followed by us. So it keeps the shortest distance the predecessor node. Penultimate node, or we can also call as penultimate node, the successor node, the next node that reach the destination, and a flag indicating the status of the path. So a flag is going to indicate the status of that path. So it is going to maintain the shortest distance of the previous node as well as the next node, successor node. The LCT, the link cost table, contains the short of relaying. Example, the number of hops to each to reach the destination. So in the many classes I told you what is the meaning of hops. Hops are nothing but the intermediate nodes or mediators that helps us to move from source to destination if at all we are not having a direct connection. Link cost table will explains the or it is going to contains the cost of relaying message through each link. So from each link how much cost it is going to be. Here cost is we can consider it as a distance from one node to other node. The cost of a broken link. So if at all the link there is no link, or if the law of the link is going to be disconnected, then it is going to represent it as infinity symbol. The MRL, message retransmission list, contains an entry for every update message that it is to be retransmitted and maintains a counter for each entry. So for each and every entry it is going to maintain a counter. Counter means how many times it has retransmitted, or how many times it has the same data is going to be transmitted. That is called as message retransmission list. If at all I have sent same packet for 3 times, then the counter count equals to 3. Counter will count the number of times we have retransmitted the same packet. Entry of every update message. This counter is decremented after every retransmission of update message. So after every update message, that this counter value is going to be decremented. After receiving update message, a node not only updates the distance for transmitted neighbors, but also check the other neighbors distance also. So it is not only updates the neighboring nodes distance, it also checks the distance of all other neighbor nodes also. So hence convergence is much faster than DSDV. So it is somewhat advanced version when compared to DSDV. Which one? WRP, wireless routing protocol. So this is one of the example for route establishment, how the route is going to be connected, or network is going to be connected between the nodes in WRP, wireless routing protocol. So source is 1, node 1 is the source ID, and destination is 15 is the destination. So here routing entry at each node for destination ID. So from one node 1, if at all I want to move to node 15, that destination is going to be calculated. That is routing entry at each node, and from 1 to 15, 2 to 15, 3 to 15, 4, 5, like that. From each and every node, how can we move to destination node from that particular source node? That is the point what we are having in the table. Node So now the node from source we want to move to 15, that is the next node is 15, the predecessor value is also 15 and the cost is 0. So that is from 15 to 15. So that is from node 15 to 15. Then there is no next node, there is no predecessor node, and the cost is 0. Or if at all you want to get in detail, you can move from bottom to top, or top to bottom is 15 to 1. So in the reverse direction, or you can see in the from this angle also. So for example, from node 1 I want to move to my destination node is, what is my destination node? 15. Then what is the next node I am having? The shortest distance is 2. Okay. Next, the predecessor, the next node for the predecessor node for this is 12. The predecessor node for this is 12. 12 means, so here we are calculating this values, and the cost is, what will be the cost to reach the node? So see here, 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4, so that is 6 plus 10, 14 is the cost to move from source to destination. 1, 2, 4, 12, 15, this is the direction. So that is the cost is, total is 14. So in this way we have to calculate each and every node from source to destination. So next, for example, from node 2, the next node is 4 and the next predecessor is 12. So predecessor means దీనికి ముందున్న node 12 and the cost is 8 plus 3, 11. This is the cost. So like that we have to calculate all the nodes. The predecessor node for, so the explanation we have given here, how we have calculated. The predecessor node for 15 corresponding to this route is node 12. The predecessor information helps WRP to converge quickly during link breaks. So this information, the predecessor information helps the routing protocol to converge quickly during link breaks. If at all there is any link break, then it can be easily identify and make a alternative changes. When a node detects a link break, it sends an update message to its neighbor with the link cost of the broken link, and it is represented with infinity. So all these points we have learned in the previous topic only. Or if at all, see here, if at all there is a link break between 12 to 15, so that information is going to be represented with an symbol called as infinity symbol. So that is, the link is going to be, the link was breaked, and that information is going to be represented with infinity symbol. When the link between 12 and 15 break, all nodes having a route to the destination with the predecessors also node 12 delete their corresponding routing entries. So see here, in every node, so in the previous node, in the previous table, we are having the predecessor node as 12 for from 1 to 8. So the predecessor node we have used is 12, but here when there is a link break is happened, when there is a link break between, when there is no link between from 12 to 15, so here we have modified the predecessor, that is we have considered 13, that is from 12 to 13, 13 to 15, then automatically the cost is going to be changed. here. That is the difference between previous table. So earlier it was the cost was 14. Now the cost from 1 to 15 is 15. So like this we are going to update at each and every routing table, and you can see the clear explanation regarding how we have changed the values. And the advantage and disadvantage of this WRP has the same advantage as the DSV. In addition, it has faster convergence and involves fewer table updates. So it can convert fastly, and it will involve and it can have fewer table updates. So but whereas in DSDV we are not giving any distance between the link break. So whenever there is a link break in the DSDV, what we are going to do? What was happened? So just we have represented with infinity, but here without representing that infinity, we are using a next precedence value, preceder value. So that is when the 12 was, when the when there is a link is uh, link break was done between 12 to 15. Now we have considered a new value, that is preceder value is 30. But whereas in DSDB we have allotted infinity value when there was a link break. So that was a one alternative updation that was there in the WRP. But the complexity of maintenance of multiple tables demand a large memory and greater processing power from nodes in the ad hoc wireless network, and suitable for highly dynamic and also very large ad hoc wireless network. So it is somewhat difficult to maintain multiple tables, demands a large memory. So it is demanding a larger memory should be given to maintain multiple tables and greater processing power. So much power is going to be consumed from nodes in ad hoc wireless network, not suitable for a highly dynamic and also very large and ad hoc wireless network. So it is not suitable for like this dynamically changing network. So it is somewhat complexity to maintain. So next one is cluster head gateway switch routing protocol, CGSR, uses a hierarchical network topology. So this is one of the another routing protocol what we are having, that is CGSR. It is a hierarchical network topology. Unlike the other table driven routing approaches, they employ flat topology. So other than, so in the above two we have seen WRP and DSDB, we have seen table driven. Table driven means at each and every node we are maintaining the table. What the table contains? The table contains information from the shortest distance from that node to next upcoming nodes. So but here we are not maintaining the table, we are maintaining a flat topology. CGSR organized nodes into clusters with coordinate among the members of each cluster entrusted to a special node named cluster head. So in the CGSR we are maintaining or organizing nodes into a cluster, and each which coordination among the members of each cluster. So in the cluster the total number of nodes that are present, they are having a mutual communication coordination to a special node named as cluster head. So among this n number of nodes in a cluster, one cluster is going to be the cluster head to maintain or to coordinate among n number of nodes. This cluster head is elected dynamically by employing a least cluster change LCC algorithm. So this cluster head is going to be elected by one algorithm called as LCC, least cluster change algorithm. Clustering provides a mechanism to allocate bandwidth which is limited resource among different clusters, thereby improving reuse. So this clustering provides a mechanism to allocate bandwidth which is limited resource. So we are allocating a bandwidth and which is limited resource among different clusters. So this bandwidth is going to be used limitedly among different clusters, thereby improving the reuse. CGSR assumes that all communication passes through the cluster head. So what the CGSR is assuming that every communication, everything is going to be known by the cluster head only. Communication between clusters have to be take place through common member node that are member of both the cluster. For example, it is called as a mediator. Common member node. Common member node means this node is this type of nodes are a members of both the cluster 1 and cluster 2. Such type of nodes are called as common member. Here that node is having the authority to interact both the cluster, not only with one cluster 1 and cluster 2. So the communication between two clusters are going to be done through this common member node. These nodes which are members of more than one cluster are called gateways. So such type of common nodes are called as gateways. The nodes which are members of more than one cluster are called as gateways. The routing protocol used in CGSR is a extension of DSDV. So the protocol what we are using in the CGSR is an extension of DSDV. So here also every member maintain a routing table containing the destination cluster header for every node in the network. In addition to the cluster member table, each node maintains a routing table which keeps the list of next hop nodes for reaching every destination. So in the addition cluster member table maintains, each node maintains a routing table which keeps list of next hops. Next hops is what are the next nodes that we should use to reach the destination node. That information is also maintained. The cluster routing protocol is used here, the hierarchical routing protocol. The cluster means it is in the form of hierarchical. As per this protocol, when a node with packets to be transmitted to a destination gets the token from its cluster head. So when a node which wants to with packets to be transmitted to destination gets the token from its cluster head. So it will get the token from the cluster head when it wants to transmit a packet. It obtains the destination cluster head and the next hop node from the cluster member table and the routing table respectively. So it obtains the destination cluster head information and the next hop node from the cluster member table and the routing table respectively. So all this information is going to be obtained by the node that it wants to send a packet. A path from any node A to any node B will be similar to, so in this way, so any node to any other node. So from a path from any node A to any node B. So node A to node B, this is how the path will be. Cluster 1, gateway 1, cluster 2, gateway 2, cluster I, gateway I, where G and C are the ith gateways and jth clusters head respectively. So this it should pass through this number of clusters and gateways. What is meant by gateway? Common member node is called as gateway. Common member node means this node having the authority to communicate, interact or enter into this cluster as well as cluster 2, cluster 1, cluster 2. Such type of common node are called as gateways. So here the diagram explains about routing, how it is going to be established. A path between 11 and node 16. It would be here a path between 11 and 16. So this is how the path will be: 11 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 5, 5 to 16. So you people get an doubt, why we are moving 11 to 6, why can't we move to 12? So this will be the shortest distance compared to 11 to 12. So that is the reason. So the white color nodes are represented as cluster member node. Cluster member node means the node which is of that particular cluster only, whereas 6, these thick lines, these are cluster head and cluster gateway. Cluster gateway means between these two it is acting as a cluster member node. common to both 11 node and 12 node. That's why it's called as cluster gateway. Sorry, this one between 6 and 5 and other nodes.